the conclusion of month 7, I weighed 151.2 pounds. It seems like I gotta beat that. That was a pretty bad low after backpacking. Let's see here. 159.2. Gained 8 pounds. This month was like the longest month yet, but it wasn't like bad. It was just seemed like it took forever. Unfortunately, there's no more mussels because the temperature has risen too much in the ocean, which is kind of a drag. When I went to Santa Barbara, that was really one of my staples, and now I'm gonna have to look elsewhere for food. When I look around my house, I feel like I've been so successful at storing up food that I'm still like where I was like the first day of Zap. I might not have as much good food like, chips and, granola and all that stuff, but I have replaced it with a lot of Zap survival food. It's kind of let me indulge and maybe eat a little bit more food. I've been having lunch lately. If we had our Thanksgiving dinner this fall and it didn't have a turkey, that sense of sentimentality would have been just absolutely vacant. I had a couple times this month where something interesting happened, which was all the things kind of came together and I got all the ingredients to like make something like special. Like I had milk and vodka and Kahlua. I didn't have any ice, but so I made myself a White Russian. It just brought back this like sense of nostalgia and like things fitting in place that I've really missed during my life. And I think in the apocalypse, people will strive for this, trying to get back that sense of normalcy that you get through food when it all kind of like adds up and you can actually make something, not just have like just raw ingredients like I do a lot, like I'm just eating dried apples or I'm just eating avocados or oranges. So it's like a whole different thing to be able to like actually create something. Since I've been so successful storing up food, I feel like Zap has really become a test of my mind more than my body, test my willpower more than my physical endurance. It's like, can you eat soup every single day? Can you eat like, acorn, buckeye, chestnut, walnut mush every day for breakfast? I have been really enjoying Zap, but that it was starting to wear on me. Then it was salad. It's either soup or salad. There's like literally no in between. One of the best realizations that I've had during Zap so far is that someone really can grow all the veggies that they will need for a whole year easily. I would say in a space of basically a back and a front yard, which is about what I have, someone could produce all their vegetables for their whole family. It's insane how I just eat and I eat and I eat and they just keep coming back. And I never really took vegetable gardening totally seriously before Zap. And, I had a little garden and it was a supplement to my diet, I'd, maybe have one pepper and I'd be like, ooh, my pepper's almost ripe, and I'd be looking at it. Now I just go out and there's just peppers everywhere and it's just like crazy. So if you really put the time and energy into it, which it does take a lot of time and energy, then you can produce a very substantial amount of food. And through proper trading, you can get rid of your surplus and diversify your diet. I've had quite a few people make the comment that I must be healthier because I'm eating less sugar, which is the great irony because before Zap I really didn't eat that much sugar, and now I find myself having a lot of sugar both in honey and the stores that I had before Zap, and I just need the calories, so I'm eating way more sugar than I was before. That's what happens when you have a pickle bucket of sugar you were going to use to distill booze with. Perhaps you're just better off eating it. This sounds kind of like, I don't know, hokey or something, but I feel much more in tune with my environment than I was before I started, which is interesting because I always considered myself someone that was very acutely in tune with what was going on. I just feel like I just sense things. When the fire is starting to burn down, I just know when it's time to put more wood on it. Or also, like when it starts to get late in the day, I get this feeling when that late afternoon light comes on and I realize sunset's coming and I realize nighttime's coming and I realize that I gotta make food and get to bed. Our lives just so don't revolve around the sun that, we don't acknowledge when it's going down, whereas throughout history, I'm sure when that late afternoon light came in, it triggered people, it's time to set up camp and it's time to, get to making some dinner. Also, when I'm out in the woods, I feel like the birds and the bees and all that stuff There used to just be this random chatter in the background that I kind of acknowledged, but now I really feel like I hear things individually very acutely and I tune into them. Even when I'm in a rush, I take the time to just stop and watch the birds and watch the squirrels and just watch lizards and all kinds of stuff. Pretty cool. Animals are really weird, you know? If you watch them for a minute, it's totally different than watching them for a half an hour. They really behave quite differently once they settle back into the routine. The squirrels are amazing. They're so weird. They're like little people. I would say that much of this month I still feel tired and exhausted. I've been busier. I've been trying to stuff my face with food as much as possible. I've been cracking into some of my granola bars and Cliff bars, and I still just feel exhausted. I don't remember being this tired all the time. I feel like I'm dragging ass. I feel like I'm getting enough food, but maybe it's still just not quite there. Maybe it's stress, you know? I'm definitely not complaining because I'm doing what I wanted to do. It certainly beats an average 9-to-5 job, but I think a lot of people don't understand how much work I actually have to do just to survive. And it's like being a sculptor, you know? You enjoy creating these sculptures and putting your energy into this stuff, but as soon as that becomes something where you gotta get money out of it and you gotta do it all the time, then, you know, it kind of saps that energy and it changes it. I really feel like Zap is the exact same in that sense, that it's something that was a lot of stuff that I found fun and interesting and I like to do as hobbies. And now that it's become a full-time job, it's like almost like you begin to resent it and it's work all of a sudden. So, I don't know, it's hard to explain that to someone that isn't in it with me. You think, oh, you're going to the beach and going fishing, that's not work. Gardening, that's not work, all of a sudden it is. I find also that you always want what you can't have, and Zap's really funny like that because I find myself like seeing foods that people have and just being like, oh, I want that, and I just have this impulse to just grab it and eat it, and all of a sudden I realize like, wait, those are Altoids. I hate Altoids. It's like buying stuff. I never really was a big consumer. I didn't go out and buy a bunch of stuff, but then once you can't buy anything, you just want to go and spend money. Perhaps this is an instinct that's ingrained in us for thousands of years that kind of push people into new realms looking for resources they didn't have and helped us expand around the world. We got 8 months down and 4 months to go. Anything about that, Howard? 4 months is just like an easy downhill coast at this point. I'm just gonna kick back and enjoy it while it lasts. See, eating that goose was a good idea. You like salad, huh? You don't like soup. See, Howard doesn't like soup either.